Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is all about relationship matters as per Vedic astrology. In Vedic astrology, a lot of people will be getting confused with the placement of 7th house and the 12th house. Let me tell you, in order to see the relationship, we have to see the placement of Venus and Moon. Why? Because Venus is the planet of love. Venus is the planet of relationship. Okay, so the people with strong Venus will be very much valuable towards, very honest towards relationships. And for all the people who have Venus afflicted with Rahu or Ketu, they are not trustworthy from the outside eyes. That means the people will be misunderstanding these people, and these guys have to prove themselves that they are capable enough. Okay, and one more thing I would like to tell you is when you are analyzing the relationship matters as per Vedic astrology, you have to check the placement of fifth house as well, because fifth house talks about romance, fifth house talks about children, fifth house talks about talent, intellect, because fifth house is the national zodiac for the Leo zodiac side, and for the Leo, the Lord is basically Sun. Okay, Sun is considered as a Pitrukaraka. So we need to analyze the placement of planet Sun and placement of planet Venus, and also placement of planet Moon as well. Why? Because Moon represents understanding. Moon represents blames. Moon represents misunderstandings. Moon represents conflicts. So for marriage to have a harmony in relationship, there should be balance of energies between Venus and Moon. Okay. So how we generally analyze from the male's birth chart to the female's birth chart is we have to see the placement of Venus in the male's birth chart, and the female's birth chart should be 5 houses apart from the placement of Venus that was there in the male's birth chart. Let's say, let me give an example. In the male's birth chart, let's say Venus is at 5 degrees and is placed in the 10th house. Okay, and 10 houses, if you count 5 houses from 10th house, 11th house, 12th house, first house, and second house. That means the female's Venus should be placed between the 10th house and the second house. So that is the calculation. And the placement of Moon also we have to calculate similarly. Let's say Moon is in the 23 degrees in the 5th house. Okay, and the 5 houses from the 5th house will be 5th house, 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, and 9th house. Okay, so in these houses, the placement of Moon, the female's planet, the female's birth chart, the placement of Moon should be placed. Okay, so Venus and Moon carries a lot of Venus and Moon carries a lot of weightage in terms of analyzing the relationship matters, and most importantly, a lot of ancient texts also argue that we have to check the placement of 12th house. 12th house talks about bed pleasures, and 5th house talks about romance. So 5th, 7th, and 12th houses has to be analyzed. And of course, as I mentioned to you, the placement of Venus and Moon. Let me tell you, 95% of astrologers will not be bothering about Venus and Moon's placement, and they don't they don't put the weightage for Moon for male's birth chart with respect to the female's birth chart. Very less people are checking this way. And also we need to check the D7 chart and also D9 chart. Whatever the combinations which I am telling it to you, you have to check the placement of Lagna chart, D9 chart, and D7 chart as well. Because D9 chart will get activated, that is Navamsha chart, which will get activated after the age of 30. So it is very important for you to check the placement of Venus and Moon, and you have to compare between the points between the house points for the male's birth chart to the female's birth chart. And second thing is we need to understand the gunas. Gunas as in like those are 5 methods of calculating the gunas, and the total is basically 36. Any gunas which is calculated based upon the placements, planetary alignment of the planets in the male's birth chart to the female's birth chart, we have to calculate any gunas, the total out of 36, any gunas out 18 plus will be good for good relationship. Okay, so any, let's say for example this person having the manglik dosh, let's say person the let's say yeah, okay, let's say the male's birth chart having the manglik dosh. Okay, and the female's birth chart doesn't have Mangalik dosh. So what happens is in the male's birth chart will be giving the 5 points for the male, and for the female will be giving the 0 points. So in that way we'll be calculating depending upon the zodiac sign, the place the seventh house belongs to, what are the aspects the seventh house is getting, and who is the lord of seventh house and where he is located, which nakshatra the planets are located. All those things has to be analyzed, and carefully we have to analyze the seventh house. Why? Because seventh house talks about marriage. If at all you ask me about the love or relationship, we have to check the fifth house as well, because fifth house talks about relationship. So any connection between the seventh house lord, if at all seventh house lord has the connection between the sixth, eighth, and 12th houses, this this is responsible for the marital discord. Why? Because sixth house talks about debts, enemies, litigation, obstacles, challenges. Whereas eighth house talks about sudden ups and downs and longevity. Whereas 12th house talks about losses, expenses, and liabilities. So we have to see the connection between the seventh house lord with respect to the sixth, eighth, and 12th houses as well. All right. So that is how we have to carefully analyze the planetary alignment in the birth chart. Okay. And also we have to see the similar way in the male's birth chart or the female's birth chart. So some of the few important pointers I would like to tell. So we have to check the Digbala chart as well. Digbala chart of placement of Venus. For Venus in the male's birth chart, how much he is getting. The female's birth chart, how much he is getting. She is getting. Okay. And it should be strong with the Ashtaka Varga. So should have at least 30 bindus in the Sarvashtaka Varga. That means every house will be giving certain points. So they should be getting at least 30 bindus as per the Sarvashtaka Varga. Ashtaka Varga is another table which will be doing some kind of mathematical Vedic calculations to derive to certain digit. And we have to compare with that as well. And also we need to see whether the seventh house has got affliction with Sun, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn, because these are all malefic planets. Any malefic influence, if at all any planet, especially Venus got hemmed between Rahu and Ketu, has to be checked thoroughly, because that results to a lot of marital disturbances. And of course, there are a lot of remedies that we can able to do it to nullify those evil effects in the planet, in the planetary chart. That's a different ball game altogether. So here I'm talking about the way we generally analyze a relationship. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if at all you need my astrological consultations, the link is mentioned in the description section. Once I get a consultation order, I'll be able to help you with the complete analysis pertaining to your individual birth chart. So stay tuned. Bye for now.